not properly peel the egg because it kept cracking in their hands, which made me think of the eggs that my chickens lay, which you could build a wall out of. Because they do not crack, nor can you peel them, and you just slice your hand open on them because our ladies eat really well. So everybody says, chickens are calm. They're quiet. They don't really like pets. You have to hear this for the 75th time. And so I said, it's spring break. We have all the infrastructure in place. We have our coop. We have our pen. I understand the basics of how a chicken works, what you feed them, what you do with them, and when they get sick, how you attempt to handle that. So we go and we pick up my first batch of chickens. And so the first batch of chickens is Flavia and Fat Gladys, and they're named after one of my favorite book series, the Flavia Delusional. Side note, read them, they're wonderful. So we bring home Flavia and Fat Gladys. I'm like, okay, they're calm, they're good. They're doing chicken things. This is great. They're clucking. They're happy. And they told us, exactly. They told us, don't worry, they're not going to lay an egg for like 2 weeks. You've terrified them. I go out the next morning. Eggs. Magic. I'm a farmer. Thank you. So then we go and we're ready to pick up our next load of chickens because I've decided, based on all of my careful calculations done through Pinterest, that I need 5 chickens. For our needs, we need 5 chickens. And my husband says we need no chickens. And I said, well, so we're getting 5 chickens. Exactly. So we then go. We find a very nice farmer man whose judgment is so poor that he will give me livestock. And he says, please come into my barn. I have all of the chickens in a stall. I'm like, okay, this is fantastic. I'm wearing my boots. I have on a flannel shirt. I look legitimate. Let's go get some chickens. And there are 125 chickens who have been overwintered, which means they're like people at a nursing home that have not been allowed to go anywhere for 17 months, and they're everywhere. And so he gets a fruit crate, and he says, pick your chickens. Okay, which ones would you recommend? Well, there's 2 colors. There's white, and there is this brownish not white. And he says, okay, get 2 of the golden comments. And I'm like, oh, but look at the pretty white ones. Let's get a pretty white one, because that looks like a fancy chicken. Don't ever say that, ever. So he catches my chickens and he places my chickens so roughly into this fruit crate, and I'm thinking he probably broke my chicken. I don't know if you can break a chicken, but I think he broke my chickens. And it's chickens. Oh my God. They're so pissed off. And I'm in the dog crate in the back of my car, which I remember to put a blanket in this time. We got back Gladys and Daphne. We did not put a blanket. Sorry,
scooting around.
They were everywhere.
Where we pulled up.
So we had to pull off the road to resituate Daphne and Fat Gladys. And Smithy and I are dying. We're like, this is hilarious. Who let us do this? And we did not look up at the sign of the restaurant into which we had pulled. Ted's Famous Kickin' Chicken Fried Chicken Restaurant. Surreal would not begin to describe it. So anyway, fast forward. I have my chickens. They are in my fruit crate. I am in possession of all of these chickens. Okay.
Did the chickens stop giving it a stink eye when they looked up and saw the sign?
We took a picture, no joke. We turned around and took a picture. They were wall-eyed. And they're going, this picture is on my drive. I wish I could share it with you right now. So anyway, I am traveling home from the farm, 3 chickens in my fruit crate, and I'm feeling very empowered, and I bring them home, and I place them in a very tiny pen, because at this point we don't have the full yard up yet. We just have a portable dog fence thing that you can carry, and I think this looks functional, this is good. We'll put all the chickens together, and the chickens, they will play nicely together. That is what my book said. My book said they like each other, and they will chicken commune their way into, I don't know, felicitous egg laying.
You learned about chickens from the same people who probably taught you how to teach high school students.
They did. They're nice. They're sweet. They respect you. They won't kill each other. Chickens do. They kill each other. So I learned the pecking order is a very real thing, and that's how the chickens establish dominance.
That's why it's called a pecking order.
Exactly. I literally looked at my husband and I said, "Oh, look, the pecking order. I was like, someone please slap me right now. I feel like that's a Discovery Channel special. So I put them in there, and then I realized who is dominant and who is not. Flavia runs into the chicken house. I had Ophelia and Daphne, and they were not as big as the rest of them, and they're like, oh, my mother of God, and they run in the chicken house. And so we have the UFC match between Harriet and Fat Gladys. Fat Gladys is pissed. This is her home. She has lived here for the majority of her life, which is 3 days. And Harriet is white leghorns. You'll never need to know this, but they're known for being skittish and wild and violent, and very moody. And so they look at each other and they square off.
Oh my God.
They go at each other like a cockfight. Harriet is white, mind you. Harriet, after 30 seconds of my chickens trying to kill each other, is covered in blood. But I can't feel that bad for her because her face is also covered in blood where she has just attacked Gladys. I'm screaming, like, oh my God, this was not in the Pinterest book. So I hop in there because I'm like, we are not fight ladies.
Never separate your girls from their fighting.
Then they try to attack you. No one cared. No one cared at all. So Harriet, this is the point when the chickens realize that they have enough hops to get out of the coop. So Harriet's like, well, I'll be damned if I'm staying where I'm not wanted. And so Harriet is on top of, I realize I've created a terrible situation here because she realizes she can fly on top of the chicken coop. And then from there, gallivant around our property, which is good. We don't have close neighbors. It's a very large area of 11 acres, which is not good when you need to catch a chicken. And so I see this chicken, the chicken is roaming, and I'm like, well, we've got 3 rangers. Also, this one is bloodied. The other 3 are hiding. What do we do? So then we begin to progress. I learned that chickens put themselves up at night. So the rest of the chickens learned from Harriet that they too could hop on the coop, and then they could roam. But what they do is that they realize that you are the person and you control the food, and the food is in the back porch of the house, and if they follow you long enough, you will eventually go to the source of food and you will feed them, which results in a variety of things. Most of them being the fact that we now have pet chickens because my husband pulls in the driveway every evening, and Fat Gladys and Daphne and Harriet run, and when chickens run, you can picture, oh God, it's fantastic. Their skirts, which is, that's what I call their back feathers, they look, it's like a Golden Corral buffet.
Oh my God.
They have not eaten for 2 weeks. They've been on Survivor. And as you watch them run, you're like, oh, that is a beautiful drumstick. One day you will be so tasty. And they run to his vehicle, and they stop. And when chickens look at you, I'm like, God, I understand why you're at the bottom of the food chain. We're so done. They go, and that is what greets my husband every day when he comes home. But they learn more than that. And y'all, there's just no end to the chicken stories. So the chickens, Fat Gladys in particular, she is called Fat Gladys for a reason because she is enormous. And Fat Gladys is rather bossy, and she's quite vocal. And Fat Gladys realized that there's this concept of doors and windows, and that the feeder people, they go into these doors, you can see them through the windows, and if you yell loud enough and long enough, the feeder people will come out and either chase you or they will provide you with sustenance. Because you have escaped your home and there is no law and order and you can do whatever the hell you want to do because you're a chicken at my house and my dog is worthless because he's like, oh, I love chickens, and then they chase him, all 90 pounds of him. And so I get a crescendo of, oh shit, what have I done? When I'm cooking supper, actually, ironically enough, chicken, I'm chopping up the chicken and looking at my chicken. I'm like, in any other context, this would be super creepy, but okay. And I hear, I know she's here. She's on the gravel. And you can kind of tell which chicken it is because some are heavier than others. And then I hear, and I look out, so we have a carport area off of our dining room. It's a 1932 farmhouse. And I look, and there's my vehicle, and here's Fat Gladys. And she has learned that if she hops onto the hood of my vehicle, that she can see me cooking chicken. Fun fact, chickens love chicken. Dead or alive. They think it's delicious. And so Gladys is on the hood of my car. And Gladys is going, "Ma!" And I'll save you the details, but 30 minutes of me running out of my dining room with a variety of implements. At one point, I had the kitchen tongs. The chicken is on the hood of your car. And you have a long hood. You cannot reach the chicken from the hood. So when I say I chased Gladys, I meant I chased Gladys on the hood of my vehicle. I am so pissed by this point. I am ready to murder her and cook her, but I don't know how to do that, so I can't. It would just be cold-blooded, and that's not fair. So finally, I like this damn chicken. And I just hit her as hard as I can. Like she can fly. So off she flies. Okay? Which reminds me of another chicken story. Anyway, I'm like, okay, Gladys is gone. Solve the problem. Here we go. And then I hear the sound of the gravel again. And then I hear louder.
What's that
I look out
flipping
my
the
dining room
mics?
window, and Gladys is 1 inch from the glass. Chickens have depth perception, and it extends for at least 15 feet because that's where they find the feeder people. And from that point on, Gladys's concept of windows is her favorite thing because, as I was telling them this morning, I finally got her off of the grill that she had hopped onto, and I chased her away, and I fed her to keep her from coming back, which just...
No, it's all rewarding this sort of behavior.
I did. And so now, every so often, we'll be sitting in the living room, and you will hear... followed by... and you look, and there, in your full length glass door, is Gladys going, "Hey, girl, hey." And on the steps, you'll see Harriet. And you'll see Daphne. And they're all like, "What you got? What you eating for supper?" So we had the chickens for maybe a week, and I had all of my seedlings to plant for spring in a greenhouse that was not properly anchored, and it was 42 degrees, and it got freezing cold, and of course the greenhouse blew over, and all of my heirloom seedlings were ruined, and I was running around in 40 degrees in my pajamas, and I was super pissed, and I was stuck in the greenhouse, and the wind's blowing it over. I'm like, okay, we've got this problem fixed, and then I am filling up the feeder, and I hear, and I look, Harriet, followed by Daphne, followed by Ophelia. Oh God, okay, go for the weakest link. So I hop on Ophelia like she's football. And all you hear is roar! I throw her back in the coop. And then I catch Daphne. And then I chase Harriet for 45 minutes in my pajamas. At one point with a weed bucket and a broom. Until I finally run her into, thank God for this broken down greenhouse, she doesn't understand the concept of clear. And she runs into the greenhouse, and that is how I catch her. But the more recent fun story that we had with these delightful chickens is that Harriet went broody, which means she's trying to hatch eggs, and I'm almost done with my story. I promise you can leave at any point in time. She didn't pay for this. And we don't have a rooster. And so we had our big girl talk with Harriet, and we had this like, oh, it's just not going to work because we don't have a rooster, and you're not going to be able to make this happen. And she said, no, I'm still going to sit here and slowly go crazy like the yellow wallpaper. And I would set her out every day, and she would not get any better. Until Saturday when I woke up, this was like 4 weeks ago, and there are feathers everywhere, just this inordinate amount of feathers flying about, feathers in the wind. And I'm like, okay, well, that's not good because no chicken can survive that. And so I look in the nesting box, and there's a wing flopped out, and chickens don't sleep like that. And I open it, and Ophelia is dead. And Harriet is missing half of her feathers, and she's bloody. Okay, and everyone's sad at this point. Ophelia was very nice. So Harriet goes to chicken jail because Harriet is another chicken, which consists of putting her in a dog crate in my front yard. But I wanted to be humane, so I attached the same portable fence that we had earlier, but she could fly over that, so I decided to attach a fitted twin bed sheet to it with chip clips, which worked until the wind blew, and then the chicken got stuck in the sheet all around my front yard. But it made it significantly easier to catch.
And what did you use to catch her with?
3 limbs. I broke tree limbs off of a redbud tree and chased her, and they were like 4 foot long celery tongs, but eventually chased her into a wisteria bush where she got unceremoniously stuck. And I got a ladder and I pulled her out of it. And then when you catch this God blessed chicken, you would think that it would claw you to death, but it does not. It nuzzles up against you and said, "Oh." And so those are chickens. Don't ever get them.